Aha. Huh.
Miss Warbeck did ask you to make it look pretty.
One shall complete the task to the degree it is requested. Symmetry is the key, you see.
Oh yes, I see.
Everything is now ready for the arrival of the guests.
I assume you have the list of guests?
I am afraid not. It would usually be an essential part of my preparation. In fact, it perturbs me that there is something I did not have time to prepare for.
Would you like me to find Miss Warbeck? There may still be some time to check the list. Look, there's Miss Farquhar. With Miss Babinin.
Seems that they became fast friends after the incident on the ship. Intriguing.
Intriguing how?
Speculation, monsieur. Nothing more.
That head of yours is just constantly full of thoughts. Who's this?
I have no idea. But she's sure to turn heads with such a fetching dress.
I quite agree. And who is this dapper-looking gentleman?
Mon Dieu.
Wait a minute. Is that... Well, I never! Poirot, you devil! Forgive me. What are my manners? Detective Poirot.
Goodness, Monsieur Demire. Poirot is more than adequate for an old friend.
He saves my family from near ruin, uncovers a murderous plan, and still has the modesty to not correct a buffoon like me.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Heavens, my manners appear to have been replaced by surprise and excitement. Forgive me. Monsieur Demire, this is Monsieur Arthur Hastings.
You've got yourself a partner now. Well, any friend of Poirot's is surely a friend of mine.
Monsieur Hastings has been kind enough to show me the sights of London. A more than adequate guide.
I would take that. It's as often as a blue moon you see Poirot handing out approvals like that.
And what is it you do, Mr. Demire?
A previous field medic, Monsieur Demire now finds himself working for... with his brother, doing most honorable charitable work all across London.
Need I say more?
Could everyone gather together for a photograph, please? Would you all move a bit closer together for me, please?
I didn't realize we were going to be in the newspaper.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. I just want the camera to get my best side.
Okay, if everyone is ready.
So, Poirot, what on earth are you doing here anyway?
My orders were to see to the safe travel of the centerpiece of the exhibition, the penitent Magdalene. Monsieur Hastings here travels with me, covering any administrations and insurance requirements.
Art protection? That's a bit beneath the great Hercule Poirot, isn't it? Especially protecting it from this lot.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to introduce us.
Where's the fun in that? We have to make sure those... What's it you call them again?
You are referring to my little grays.
Little grey cells, yes? That's it. I've been playing a little game. I've been trying to find a painting to match each of the guests. At least the ones I'm acquainted with. I wondered, Poirot, do you think you can ascertain which paintings match which guests? I can give you a little info, but you'll need to make your own inquiries. Miss Irene Courtsmith. She's one you'll want to keep your eye on in the future art scene. Born and raised on a rather affluent estate, she turned her back on her parents in her teens to start a new life in London as an artist.
She's a very nice young lady.
Oh, really? Interested, are we?
I was only making a comment on her nature, nothing untoward, I can assure you.
Or as we are all meant to refer to him as, the Honorable Reverend Horace Mountjoy. He's a man of the church. I'm not sure what else there is to say. If you're wanting to keep the lectures to a minimum, I'd avoid admitting to anything that could even be considered a sin. Mortimer Aylesworth. If you've not heard of him, I'd get familiar with the name. Eton and Cambridge educated, he followed in his father's political footsteps and has already surpassed them. Johann Christiansen and his glamorous wife Betty Allen.
Betty Allen, the actress.
The very same. They've been here in London for a few years, although she still plays down her boldness for British society, even with her recently taking a new role in the theatre.
She did not take his name in marriage?
Allen is her maiden name, works as her stage name too. A lot snappier than Christiansen.
And his employment?
He's a partner for a private bank in London. He has told me what he actually does many times before, and many times I forgot. You will no doubt already know our host, Evelyn Warbeck.
We have already made her acquaintance. Very pleasant, if not rather flustered by today's exhibition.
That's everyone. Well, there's Mr. Hastings here. I'm sure we shall get to know each other better. And our mystery woman.
Anastasia Babana. We met briefly while traversing the channel.
Look at you, Poirot. Got a love interest of your own, huh?
Monsieur Demire, must I remind you of why I am here?
No, no need at all. I know you're strictly business. Let's see what you can do then. And come back to me when you know enough about the guests to solve my little mystery.
Everything seems to be running smoothly. You've done a sterling job.
Everything except for the bishop and the other trustees, Stoogin.
It was never going to be easy going up against them. All men of a certain age, not used to the idea of change. But they didn't get their way this time. And with my exhibit coming up, this place will finally have a showing they can be proud of, and the quality the museum deserves.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe believes her upcoming exhibition will change the perspective of the trustees and the public. I get the feeling she enjoys the accolades and being the center of attention.
Detective Poirot, you're looking much happier being on solid land.
There was a moment when I thought that wretched sea would get the best of me.
Well, I'm certainly glad it didn't.
As am I. Please, do not allow me to disturb you, mesdames. Adieu.
Oh.
Beautiful, isn't it? Not like the modern tripe Miss Warbeck insists on bringing into the museum. Oh, the Lord will not look fondly upon her choices.
I would hope one's choice of art would not affect one's chances for a better afterlife.
Let's hope not, for her sake. Incredible, isn't it? And to think we are all located on that one small planet, revolving around an all-encompassing star. To think of all the suffering. I give what I can to charity, but what this country needs is someone willing to put the poor first.
Aha. I'm well aware of where we are. I just want to make sure I'm looking my best for the photographs.
And people call me the drama queen.
Oh. Ah.
It is a great pleasure to see you again, mademoiselle.
I've been looking forward to us bumping into one another. Thank you again for your help.
I must admit, I feel almost tormented that I was not able to uncover the identity of the thief.
All that matters is that it was found. If you'll excuse me, I really should get on. This article isn't going to write itself. I moan, but it's my love. My obsession, you could say.
How dare you! That might be something you say where you're from, but not here. Not to me.
What a waste of champagne.
I thought this was supposed to be a civilized event.
Are you all right, mademoiselle? I hope you did not spill any champagne on your gown.
Don't worry about me. It's only that wretched man that has got some cleaning up to do.
His suit and his mouth, by the sounds of it.
Do not allow this to ruin your day.
I have no intention of allowing such a thing. In fact, we have business to discuss.
It would be good to at least schedule a time that suits us both.
Monsieur Christiansen and Madame Hélène have returned.
You are to be the focus of Mademoiselle Farquhar's article.
Miss Court Smythe here is the next big name, and she has been kind enough to offer me an exclusive interview.
Madame Hélène has left via the exit, but Monsieur Christiansen has not gone with her.
Do not allow me to interrupt your work.
Ah, you've had more than enough time, detective. So, how did you get on?
If one is to discover the truth, one must proceed using the correct methods and cannot be rushed.
Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. That's everyone. Well done. I should have known it'd be no challenge for you.
I have faced many a more demanding challenge, but few quite so enjoyable.
Hi, is he okay? I think something's wrong with him.
I think he's having a heart attack. He seems stable. Now's the time to get him to the infirmary.
Oh, there's no need for that. I'm feeling much better already.
Wouldn't it be best to telephone for a real doctor?
Monsieur Demire was a field medic. What more of a professional is required?
A field medic, really.
A field medic that has seen people in a lot worse states, who didn't have the luxury of a proper hospital.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. If I am being carted off, the unveiling must go on. I will not have this silly old man ruining the gala for everyone.
You drive a hard bargain, Monsieur Aylesworth.
I'd just like to say a few words.
I'm sure you would.
Thank you all for coming. Here at the Royal Edward Gallery, we are proud to present such wonderful works by some truly fantastic artists. And with much negotiation and pleading, we have been able to secure a most fabulous and individual piece. Standing here with you, unveiling today's centerpiece, the Penitent Magdalene, really is a special moment for both this museum and me personally. So, without further ado,
Oh my.
Am I missing something here?
Things just got interesting.
it was. It should be.
Is this some kind of joke? Evelyn, what's going on here? Oh, trust you to have no idea. You've really done it this time, girl.
She's done nothing. It's not her fault.
By the grace of God, it's somebody's fault.
I am quite sure Mademoiselle Warbeck is as surprised as us all. S'il vous plaît, everyone. Remain where you are. Please do not touch a thing. Monsieur Hastings, you saw me lock the door to the restoration room, oui?
Of course, I was by your side. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble for this.
You are not responsible for the painting's disappearance.
But who is?
Do not allow any of the guests to leave the main hall.
And what are you going to do?
What is required? One's job.
So, I don't really know what to say.
Monsieur Hastings, this theft may be a new and foreign concept to you. But to Detective Poirot, it is just another case waiting to be solved.
What do we do then?
We must get to work. If we can ascertain the thief's point of entry and exit, this may all be resolved momentarily.
Oh. Huh. Huh. Ah. Huh. Oh. I must take a different approach if I am... This will not get me any. Things are beginning to become clearer. I should consider. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. Oh.
Gentlemen, I have called the police and they should arrive shortly. What can I do in the meantime?
Do you still hold the master key?
Of course. You are the only other person who has had access to it.
Très bien. Please keep it close. I believe the thief may be one of the guests here today.
The evidence suggests some. What a revelation!
Monsieur Hastings, I pose this question to you. If Mademoiselle Warbeck still has the master key, is she not a suspect herself?
Très bien.
Mademoiselle Warbeck is likely not our thief. The real thief did not care about the museum and what is hung on its walls.
At some time during this evening's festivities, the key was taken from her pocket and used in the restoration room door without her knowledge. If we find the pickpocket, we will uncover our painting thief. First, we must search the restoration room. Mesdames et messieurs, your attention please. I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Belgian police force. I was charged with the safety of the penitent Magdalene painting on its voyage to London from Belgium. The missing painting has indeed cut the celebrations of the gala short, and so I consider my duty to be, as yet, incomplete. With your cooperation, I ask that you all remain within the building, and I intend to speak with you all individually.
If I was the thief, I would certainly be worried after a speech like that. I just wonder if... maybe I should let you do the questioning.
Monsieur Hastings, the painting's safe return also falls upon your shoulders.
I know, but I can make myself useful elsewhere, see what clues I can find.
Where is the sense in... Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius. I must take a different approach if I am... Voila. Another success. I never doubted myself.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Christiansen.
Detective, what a mess you have on your hands.
That is certainly one way to describe it. Perhaps you can begin to help me to clear up this mess.
I was with Betty most of the evening. She wasn't feeling herself. I'm glad I didn't leave and miss out on all of this. Don't tell me you don't get a little thrill when a new case appears.
I do not think about such thrills, Monsieur Christiansen. Only justice.
All business, no pleasure, I see. I remember seeing the priest.
The bishop.
Yes, him. He came down the stairs just before Mr. Aylesworth recovered. Maybe a man of the church was all he needed. Oh, you saw that?
I believe every soul in the museum did, or at least held the commotion.
So I look like the bad guy, That's what you get for standing up to a bully, I suppose.
A bully?
She made some pretty awful comments about Betty and her career. And I wasn't just going to stand by and let her say whatever she wanted. You should lock her up for what she did to me. She's unhinged. Are you married, Detective Poirot?
I am not.
Then heed my warning. If your wife, whenever she comes along, wants to be left alone, you leave her alone.
Merci, monsieur. Bonsoir, mademoiselle.
It seems trouble follows you, Detective.
So it would appear. And the faster I am able to ask my questions, the faster this trouble will be resolved.
I saw Betty leave the main hall and head for the West Wing after the whole champagne debacle. What do you think that was all about?
It is not my job to speculate on such private matters. It is to uncover the location of the missing painting and who is responsible.
If there is someone who can, it's you, Detective.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Something just... Order and method. Come, my little Grace. Is there something... Magnifique. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Mademoiselle, if you have a moment, I wish to ask you some questions.
Look around you, Detective. Out of the ordinary is the ordinary here.
Regarding the guests of the gala, you had the opportunity to speak with them all?
I met that delightful Farquhar girl, the art critic. With any luck, her article will finally give me the respect I deserve.
Your talk on the balcony went well, I presume.
Well, indeed. We weren't up there for long before the poor politician was struck down. What luck for there to be a doctor at the scene. And for us to have a detective here, too. Before I wasted a perfectly good glass of champagne on that man, you mean?
That is certainly one way to tell the story.
I'd hardly call him trying to push himself upon me as a story.
With his wife in the same room?
You think a man with that much arrogance cares? Women are nothing more than objects to him. One day he'll learn his lesson.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now. Bonsoir, mademoiselle Babagnan.
Please, detective. Surely we are past those formalities.
What you may consider a formality, I consider etiquette.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting the other guests. I feel so fortunate just to be invited myself.
Modesty is the color of virtue. Now, mademoiselle, you were saying...
Oh, yes. We all gathered for that delightful photograph. Then I spent some time looking at all the wonderful art. I did notice the actress and the politician returned to the main hall together.
And the other guests?
I saw Bishop Mountjoy and the politician, oh forgive me, I forget his name, leave towards the east wing together. It was much earlier in the night, well before that.
You have been as enchanting as always. Bonsoir, Your Excellency.
I should be addressed as Your Grace.
Pardon. I did not mean to offend, Your Grace. It's just that in Belgium...
It is quite all right. None of us can choose where we're born. Now, what can I do for you? If I must, I was talking with Mr. Aylesworth for a time. Some strange opinions, that one.
Would you care to elaborate?
You were not present for that conversation, and I hardly think it appropriate to involve you now. Although, I will say he was rather keen to see the orrery from the balcony. He left, and I spoke briefly to that actress, but she wandered off looking for her husband. Up the main stairs, I think it was. Who would have thought the reveal of the missing painting would cause a man to take such a turn?
Perhaps a warning to us all that such a scare could come at any time.
Are you trying to say that is what's going to happen to me?
Your Grace has misinterpreted my meaning. But on the matter of where you were at the time...
Then maybe you should think before you speak. And I was talking with a young Russian girl.
Merci, Your Grace.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Madame Warbeck, a moment of your time, if you will.
I was rather busy, as you saw, especially with Irene and her disappearing act.
Disappearing act. An artist and a magician. She is a woman of many talents.
She was nowhere to be found. Is that better? She was supposed to help me organize everything. Then I saw her throwing her glass of champagne at Mrs. Allen's husband. I was hoping to speak with her after, but I didn't see her again until she was calling down from the balcony following Mr. Aylesworth's collapse. Mr. Christiansen, Betty Allen's husband. After the theft, on my way to telephone the police, he was looking for something in the West Wing.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
I thought I would make myself useful, and I think I found some things of note.
Bon, I shall go and retrieve them now. You were wise to not touch them and contaminate any evidence.
I didn't think about that. I did only move them to the West Wing.
Fantastic.
Magnifique. Aha. Huh. Huh. Aha. Ah. Hmm. Ah. Hmm.
What can I do for you?
I have nothing to hide.
Merci, mademoiselle.
I'm not sure what I can say that'll help, but
Merci, mademoiselle.
Oh.
If it'll help retrieve the painting. Of course. I have the key.
Mademoiselle, the key?
I'm sorry. You said it yourself. I think I should just hold on to it.
I was not expecting Mademoiselle Warbeck's hesitation.
Mademoiselle Warbeck, I really must insist on access to the restoration room. I find your reluctance to oblige a little troubling, mademoiselle.
Now listen. I am the curator of this museum, and I...
Miss Warbeck, will you let the man in? I, for one, would like to get to the bottom of this tonight.
please, Evelyn, let's not drag this on all night.
Evelyn Warbeck?
That's me?
Detective Inspector Hardwick. I was told a painting's been half-inched.
Yes, it's...
Stolen. Detective Hercule Poirot of the Belgian police, seconded by the Musée Royal des Beaux-Arts de Belgique and Lloyd's of London, to escort the penitent Magdalene here. How do you do, Detective Inspector Hardwick?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Mr. Poirot, but we won't be needing your help this evening.
But you see, not only do I have a considerable personal stake in this matter, I also possess undoubtedly the finest investigatory mind in all of Belgium.
I'm sure Belgium thinks you're the bee's knees, but we'll be just fine and dandy.
I must insist, Inspector.
Bloody hell! I don't have time for this. Will someone try and get through to this man before he does my head in?
Dear Mr. Poirot, I know you meant well, but perhaps now is not the time to push the inspector's buttons.
Très bien.
Monsieur Hastings, the fate of the penitent Magdalene lies in our hands.
And Miss Warbeck's career, by the sound of it.
Then we shall waste no time. We have spoken with a number of the guests from the gala, but there still remains those who are absent. They may be able to offer a clue as to the thief's identity.
Then let's go and find them.